All right, let's do a session recap here for the 8th day of October. And this morning we were watching as the dollar may be topping out, maybe not. And they push down here. See, that's support. So if they bounce here, we're going up to here. So they're at support. And if they don't break it to the downside, then we're going up. All right. So we're above the zero line. So MACD says you're still a buyer. All right. So it could go up and it could just go up here a little ways, do a right shoulder, and then sell off. Okay. Why did they do that? Because they put the money in once, they put the money in twice, they put the money in 3 times. First money's out, second money's out. Is the third money out? No. So when they come up to this top right here where the right shoulder is, that's the sell-off point. All right. So be aware. All right. So the reason I got out of that trade because it looks like it's reversing to me, and the chart says we might reverse. All right. If it reverses, all my trades are wrong. So I got out because of the risks, and the risk was on the dollar, not on the chart. Not on the chart I was trading. That wasn't where the risk was. The risk was here. All right. So if we don't know, but right now we're still going with dollar strength because that's what it's been doing, which means this should go to the downside. It is. Never got 55 pips, so we don't have it. Target is at 1592 down there. 1592. Right. Over to pound dollar. All right. Pound dollar, waiting. It also pulled back up, but now you got an exhaustion wick. Why do I have an exhaustion wick? Because that dollar just pulled back up. See, so this is immediate. All right. If I can break slope support and this fib down here, there's the trade tonight, and you're probably going lower. Yeah, maybe not much lower. You might get to the 1.618. That's all tonight. All right. So there you go. You are making lower highs, so that's a good sign that it's going to continue. Dollar Swissy is going to help us validate the dollar, and it says, oh, by the way, we're making the turn. Now remember, they only have to make the turn twice here because they only put the money in once, put the money in twice. First money's out, second money's coming out. Break here, and we're going down. See that? All right. So again, this just helps validate that, yeah, the dollar may be going down and we're making lower highs. See that? So the dollar may be going to the downside, just hasn't proven it yet. Right? So dollar yen, that would mean that it would be following the dollar because it's a base currency is the dollar. All right. What does it tell you? Well, you're at the top, so you have no trade to the upside anyway, and you also have a head and shoulders in here, a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. All right. So break the neckline, which is running right in there, and we're going down, not up. All right. See that? All right. So watch for that tonight. Down here, you get a new ATR after 5 o'clock, and maybe you can trade it to the downside. All right. Over to euro yen. Now that they've sort of resolved this gap issue here. All right. We got a break of the rising wedge to the downside, break support. We're coming down, and your overall target is all the way back down to here, right down to here, all the way down to there. All right. MACD is already pointing the way down, rising wedge. All right. I don't have my little line on here. Let me do that real quick. Very close, very tight. All right. Comes down here and bounces. It's a channel. Comes down here and breaks out. It was a rising wedge, and MACD takes over. All right. Over to euro, pound yen. All right. There we go. Same thing. Got a breakout here. Is it real? We got to take this support out. Once you take support out, watch for this support, which is that the channel wall. And if it break down here, then you're going down. You got MACD already pushing down. So you got to wait till 5 o'clock to get a new ATR. All right. Over to Euro Aussie. All right. Euro Aussie continues on down. All right. We're in this trade. I was in this trade earlier and I got out. And am I upset I got out? No, I'm not upset because I followed my rules. All right. That's why. Yeah, but man, you could be up a whole lot of pips right now. Yeah, I could have been. That's true. I got the trade right. I did get the right. All right. But it was too much risk for me. So I walked away. All right. So there we go. And the only reason I did that was because of the dollar, not because of this currency, because the currency was telling me we're going down. All you got to do is look at it. 2 closing reverses right there. All right. And that's trade 2 for me right down here. See, but with dollar flipping, it was too much risk. So I took it off. Target is still the same. However, it's down here at 76.31. 76.30 area right down there. All right. Swiss yen. Well, we need a right shoulder here, left shoulder, heads in it, need a right shoulder, and then watch for the sell. I'm going to put slope support across it right here, like this, and below here, I'm a sell. That's the neckline. All right. Of course, there's another neckline that's horizontal. I don't like that as well because you leave pips on the table. If it's going to go down, it'll prove it here. Not, and then it really proves it there. That's where trade two should go. Got divergence. Watch for the sell-off on Swiss yen. All right, pound Aussie. All right, pound Aussie pushing down. We got 55 pips, and we didn't get anybody who traded it. Trade two is down here. We're looking at a target of. Let me take this off so I can read it. 203.45 today, and tonight we'll look for this fib down here. All right, so if you get in this trade, if you do, if it pulls back up and you get into it up in here, then you want to hold to this fib, not the ATR, because you're going to get a new ATR after 5 o'clock. You're in New Zealand. All right, we got our break finally. All right, so this is not tradable because it already did its ATR, but now we're in position for tonight when we get a new ATR to come down. All right, so you're in New Zealand, probably coming down to 2,000 area. Finally, pound New Zealand. All right, there we go. Just a minute ago, we watched as it went up, and remember I said, okay, we're below the zero line break, so you got to consider that a pullback to go again. What did they do? Exhaustion wick to a close and reverse. There it is, right there. All right. So it already did its ATR, so watch tonight for it to come back down, and most likely, well, it's got a big area. You might come all the way down here to this 382 down here at 203.75. There you go. All righty.